Hey guys, welcome. In this video, we will test out 7 different weapon loadouts for the Origin M80 Heavy Fighter. The first loadout, full CF repeaters. Second loadout, full MA laser cannons. Third loadout, a mix of laser repeaters and laser cannons. The fourth loadout, full attrition repeaters. The fifth loadout, full ballistic Gatling guns. The sixth loadout, full ballistic cannons. And finally, the seventh loadout, laser cannon with ballistic Gatling gun. Buckle up and let's get started. Alright, so first loadout, full CF repeaters. But before we start, let's do a quick analysis of the CF repeaters regarding the ship's armor deflection threshold. The first number is very important, the alpha damage. So for the 2 size 4 CF repeater, the alpha damage is 65.43. And for the size 5 Gatling, the alpha damage is a little bit above 98. Now let's choose some opponents. For example, a light fighter. And with a light fighter, these 2 guns are no problem. It can damage both the shield as well as the armor and the hull. Now for heavy fighters such as the Vanguard Warden, which has a deflection threshold of 40 for energy, so this is no problem at all. For a colorless steel is also no problem. The energy threshold is only 29. However, for a Constellation, we've got some problems. Because in the 4.8, the bigger the ship, the much higher the damage deflection threshold. So for just a Constellation Andromeda, its energy deflection threshold is 110. So none of these weapons can damage its armor if you deplete the shield. Or a Carrack, which is a very common NPC ship, 240. Or a Caterpillar, 300. Or simply a Hercules C2, also 300. You can see, so these ships, there's no way that you can use these laser repeaters to damage their armor. Of course, provided there's no other damage source. If you shoot a torpedo, if you shoot missiles to bring down its armor to this one, bring down to 21%, then you will be able to damage its armor. But in a perfect situation where their armor and hull is 100%, you will not be able to penetrate through their armor. So that will be the weakness of these repeaters. However, against small, medium to heavy fighters, even some medium-sized ships like the Cutlass or the Freelancer, no problem at all. And now, let's test it. Also, in terms of the power management, it's easy to give full power to weapon. But make sure that you have full pips for cooler. Otherwise, your system is going to get overheated. So once I give full power to weapon, my capacitor is at maximum, 75 rounds. Very good. Okay, our first targets, we got 2 Gladiuses and 1 Constellation. So I'm gonna go attack the Gladius first. Fire. My shield is getting very thin.
Shields under attack. Warning, collision 4.
Okay, I need to go recharge shield. And recharges pretty quickly. Okay, making another pass on the Gladius. Fire. One Gladius is down. Second Gladius, I'm not going to use missiles. This is just gonna be a weapons test. Fire on the second Gladius. Oh, second Gladius is down. Nice. Alright, now the Constellation. Now, Constellation is going to be a problem. I cannot damage its armor and hull. But we're gonna try it. Gonna use precision mode. I'm gonna try to stop targeting its turret. I can take his shield down pretty fast. But now damaging his turret. Okay, keep shooting at the turret. Well, I think this turret is dead. And now I don't have a hit marker. And he's now shooting at me. So probably this turret is dead. We're gonna switch to the top turret. Yep, the bottom turret is dead. Okay, shield is down. And now, if I hit the body of the ship, no hit marker. If I hit the turret, I have some hit markers. Oh, the top turret has no hit markers anymore. And he's now shooting at me. I think that is destroyed. Yep. And now I'm gonna kill his main gun. And that gun is dead because it's now highlighted red. So I'm gonna attack this gun. And this gun is dead as well. Nice. Okay, he has 2 more guns shooting at me. That gun is dead. Oh, last gun is not highlighted red. So yeah, basically we just stripped his weapon. He can't shoot at me. And NBC doesn't know how to repair. This is the best I can do with this loadout. The Constellation, I have no way to destroy it. However, if you are using this loadout to attack light fighters, you will have the speed advantage. See, the bullet speed is pretty fast. And 1 arrow is down. 2nd arrow down. Hornet down. The next loadout will be the full laser cannon loadout, and these are the M80 cannons. Just for the size 4 M60 laser cannon, the alpha damage is 615. This is more than enough to damage the armor of an Idris M, which has an energy deflection threshold of only 485. And your size 4 is already 615, let alone the M7A, the size 5. So with this loadout, you don't have to worry about any deflection threshold. You basically can damage any single flyable ship in-game. However, if I give full power to weapon, my maximum amount of capacitor is only 14. But there is a way that you can get more capacitor, which is if you turn off some of your weapons. For example, if you just want to use the size 5, you can turn off your size 4. And once you turn off your size 4, you can see your size 5 will have 25 rounds. Now, first thing, I'm gonna finish this Constellation. The Constellation doesn't have any weapons. I'm gonna fire my laser cannon. His front shield is down. And now I have to recharge. The recharging rate is also quite slow.
Warning, collision port.
And his shield recovered again. And, ooh. Yeah, the recharging rate is really slow. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn off my size 4, give more to my size 5. 25 rounds. Let's see. This way I can fire a little bit longer. Yes. Enemy down. Okay, turn the size 4 back on. Okay, we're gonna target some smaller ships. This is a freelancer. Fire. Okay, shield is down, his hull is red. I need to recharge and then fire again. And need to recharge again. Yeah. Now he's dead. Okay, next ship, the Vanguard. Fire. Need to recharge. Yeah, really don't like this recharge.
Shields under attack.
Is dead. Oh, he rammed into me. Whoa, he rammed into me. Okay, Firebird is dead. Still pretty powerful though if these weapon hits, but Freelancer again. Need to recharge. Oh. There we go. Finally. Yeah, the lower capacitor with full laser cannons is a bit of a problem, because you've got only 14 rounds when give full power to weapon. Alright, the third loadout will be a combination of laser repeaters and laser cannons. So 2 size 4 laser repeaters and 2 size 5 laser cannons. Personally, I do prefer this loadout because you have the repeater against small and nimble ships, but you also have the laser cannon against ships that has higher deflection threshold. And the laser repeater will also ease some of the burdens of the power requirement. So let's take a look. If I give full power to weapon, okay, this is better. 18 rounds for the size 5 laser cannon, 54 rounds for the laser repeater. Now with this loadout, we do have different target pips. I have 2 target pips. And the faster the enemy moves, the wider distance between these 2 target pips. Just gonna have to find a way to fire both of them.
Warning, collision 4. Hostile
1 Gladius
indicated.
down. Second Gladius. This ship is so fast, it can quickly withdraw from battle, even in SEM mode, if you have boost. Fire again. Yes, another Gladius is down. Just get my shield back first. Fire.
Warning, collision 4.
His rear shield is down. Good. And now my laser cannon can do the job. My repeater can keep his shield down. My cannon can damage its armor and the hull.
Shield.
Putting a lot of bullet holes with a cannon. Yes, enemy down. This hybrid loadout is pretty effective in this situation. The loadout number 4 are the full attritions. 2 attrition 4 and 2 attrition 5. And the attritions stands between full laser repeaters and full laser cannons. Take a look at the specs. So attrition 4 alpha damage is 100 and attrition 5 alpha damage is 150. So these weapons against a Constellation Andromeda, which the energy deflection threshold is 110. So the size 4 will not be effective against its armor and hull, but the size 5 will be effective. However, any ship bigger than the Constellation, like the Perseus, this gun will not be effective. A90 jump, energy deflection threshold 342, not gonna work. 600i 270, not going to work. 400i is 90. So both size 4 and size 5 will be effective against its armor. And Starlance Attack 396, not going to be effective. And the Aegis Tiburon 380, not going to be effective. Retaliator 110, so the size 5 will be effective. So even though the attritions has been greatly nerfed in this patch, but compared with the full CF laser repeaters, the attritions has a little bit more alpha damage. However, the burst DPS, for example, the attrition 5 is 875 compared with the CF Galderin 1227. So DPS wise, the attrition is much less than the CF repeaters because of its lower rounds per minute, only 350 rounds, but the CF 750, but their bullet speed are the same. So that's the disadvantage of the attritions compared with the Galderins or any other sizes of the CF repeaters. But for the attritions, when you give full power to weapon, we have 75 rounds. So let's go test it. Okay, we're gonna start with some light fighters. We got a anvil arrow. Fire. Arrow down. Another arrow. Easy kill. Hornet. Down. Yeah, pretty effective against light fighters. Here comes the Gladius again. Fire. One down. Second one. And the Constellation shooting at me. Second Gladius is down. Gonna go recharge shield. Yeah, I can feel the difference. These Gladiuses took a little bit longer to destroy than simply using the CF repeaters because of the lower DPS. However, the advantage is that right now I am able to damage the armor of the Constellation from my size 5. Alright, his shield is down. So right now I am doing hull damage. You can see the hit marker. But that damage is only from my size 5. Size 4 does nothing, except damaging the shield. However, when its armor is down to a certain percentage, and then my size 4 will be able to damage. So the more I damage its armor, the better it is for me. His hull is very red. Ooh, nice! Constellation destroyed. Alright, the next 3 loadouts are going to be fun loadouts. So the 5th loadout are the full Ballistic Gatling loadout with 2 84B as well as 2 85Bs. Let's take a look at the stats first. The alpha damage of 84B is 84.4. However, for the 85B is 126.5. But when talking about ballistics, we have to consider the shield resistance as well as the shield absorption. These alpha damage number will have to pass the shield and gets reduced before hitting the armor of the enemy ship. So if we choose a ship such as the Vanguard Warden, you can see the 84B can damage the shield, but it cannot damage the armor. Because this number, when passing the shield, it's gonna get reduced to only 34.8 alpha damage and then hit the armor of the ship. So that's why the 84B is deflected, because the Warden's physical deflection threshold is 50. Same for the 85B. When passing through the shield, the 85B has 52.2 of alpha damage left. So that is why the 85B can damage the armor of the Vanguards. Constellation, the physical deflection threshold is 116. There is no way these two weapons can damage the armor directly. However, when the shield is down, and now you can see the 85B will have the ability to damage the armor. So that is why a mix of laser weapon with ballistic weapon is going to be most effective, especially in case of the Ballistic Gatling guns. And that's the last loadout we're gonna test out. So right now, we're gonna test this full 84B and 85B ballistic loadout. Anvil arrow. Whoa, arrow down. That is really quick. And each of my gun has over 5,000 rounds. And this is a Hornet. Fire. Oh, he's hidden behind the rock. Dead. Wow, look at that kill. Super quick. Next ship, a freelancer. Fire. Dead. Okay, Vanguard Warden. Is red. And he's dead. Firebird. That quick. Next ship is a Gladius. Fire. Down. Another Gladius. Dead. Wow, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Last ship will be the Constellation. So let's fire. Now the size 4 will not be able to damage the armor of the Constellation. However, once the armor is down to a certain percentage, my size 4 will be able to damage the Constellation. So let's check this. Once the shield is on, I'm gonna bring the armor down to... Oh, there we go. So armor health, once it's down to less than 30%, my 84B will be able to damage it. Because the lower the armor, the lower the deflection threshold. Alright, let's go attack. Okay, his rear shield is almost down. I need to keep shooting. Cannot let him recharge shield. Yeah, ballistics will take much longer to take down the shield. Almost. My shield is very thin right now. Oh, that's not good. Okay, his shield is down. It's taking hot damage. Still a little bit of shield left. Wow, taking a lot of ballistics. I'm gonna use my size 5 first. Only fire the size 5. Or save the ammo for the size 4. Oh wow, he's not taking a whole lot of damage. Yeah, okay. Must sub-target his turrets then. I don't think this is very effective. Yeah, you can see, even my size 5 can damage the armor of the ship, but it's really ineffective. Because the damage amount is really small. And oh, run out. So this is the same situation as the CF repeaters. The Ballistic Gatling gun is very fun and effective against small ships. Light, medium, and heavy fighters. But ship of the Constellation and bigger is not going to cut it. Not even with size 5 Ballistic Gatling gun. But that will not be the case for the ballistic cannons. So next loadout, full ballistic cannons. 2 size 4 deadbolts and 2 size 5 deadbolts. Even though the 85B or 84B, the Ballistic Gatling gun, the burst DPS is a little bit higher than the deadbolts. However, look at the alpha damage of deadbolts. The deadbolt 5 is over 1000 and deadbolt 4 is 683. But again, for ballistic weapons alpha damage, they have to pass through the shield resistance and shield absorption. And now take a look at the Andromeda. Both deadbolts 4 and 5 is able to do heavy damage to the shield and heavy damage to the armor. But of course, cannons will have less ammo and slower bullet speed. Check the Anvil Carrack. Oh, for the Anvil Carrack, the size 4 deadbolts is deflected by the armor, but the size 5 can do damage. So when the shield goes down to less than 40%, and now the size 4 deadbolts can damage the armor of the Carrack. Now for the Perseus, the shield has to go down to lower than 7% before the size 4 deadbolts can damage the armor. And for the size 5, the shield has to go down to less than 80% before it can damage the armor. And for the Polaris, it's the same. Now for the Idris M, the shield has to go down to less than 61% before the deadbolt 5 can damage its armor. And now the shield has to go down to 0% before both weapons can damage its armor. So the deadbolts will have this advantage. Now the ammo count for my deadbolts is less than 400 rounds for each gun. But first, let's get rid of this Connie. Fire!
Shields under attack.
Wow, you can see the hull is red already.
Hostile
Oh!
eliminated.
Connie is down! That quick! Next ship, the Freelancer. Fire! Oh, it's having a red hull with only a few bullets.
Warning, collision 4. Hostile eliminated.
Oh, and then he's dead. Didn't take long at all. Okay, next ship is the Warden. Fire! Red hull already.
Hostile eliminated.
Splashed before he can even react. Firebird.
Shields under attack. Warning, collision 4.
Oh, he rammed me again. Gladius again. Fire.
Hostile eliminated.
Oh, 2-3 bullets. Dead. I still have close to 300 rounds. Next, Gladius. Dead.
Hostile eliminated.
And Corsair. He's having a red hull already. Overheated.
Shields
Got
under
2
attack.
Corsairs here.
Hostile
Oh!
eliminated.
1 Corsair down.
Warning, collision port. Warning, collision 4.
He's having a red hull. Yeah, the deadbolts are devastating.
Hostile eliminated.
Corsair down again. And that is the Polaris. Ooh, this is going to be trouble. I can't take it with the ship, but I just want to test like this. You can see hit markers when I hit the ship.
Warning, collision.
Oh, yeah. You always lose when you go against a rock. And now, the last loadout will be a combination of ballistic Gatling gun with ballistic cannon. But this combination is flexible. You can mix laser repeaters with ballistic Gatling guns or ballistic cannons. So it's up to you. But the reason I choose ballistic cannon with ballistic Gatling gun is because the ballistic Gatling gun takes less energy. So that's why I choose AD4B for the size 4 and the M7A size 5 for the size 5. And now my M7A has 25 rounds. And that's a lot of damage with those size 5. Now if you set your keybomb properly, you can choose to fire whether just the cannons or the ballistics. So this way is better to control this gun in different situations. Now in this case, I'm just gonna fire all my guns. I can destroy him quickly.
Hostile
And
eliminated.
he's down. Next Gladius. Down. Here is a Connie. Connie, I'm gonna fire my cannons first. Take down the rear shield. Okay, shield is down. Take some hull damage. Now, switching to ballistics and let my energy weapon charge. Oh, I'm damaging its hull.
Hostile
Oh,
eliminated.
wow, this is quick. Earlier with full ballistic Gatling gun, I'm not able to destroy the colony this quick. But this combination, wow. Beautiful. Alright, so this is it for the 7 different weapon loadout for your Origin M80. It's really hard to say which is the best loadout because different situations will require a different loadout. However, I do have my 3 most favorite loadout which I equipped to different ships. My number 1 favorite loadout are the full deadbolts, and number 2 favorite loadout are the full attritions, and number 3 favorite loadout is this combination with laser cannon as well as ballistic Gatling gun. Now, what is your favorite loadout? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.